Good morning, story hunters. It's that time of the week again. Hello. Waiting for everybody to join us. Good morning to the lovely Silver Hill Primary School. Ruby Ran, Michelle Elizabeth, Claire Lou Wood, Amy Crazy, hi. Willow Brushton, hello. Ali, Emma Carnaby, Mrs. Gassy. Now that's a good name. I won't ask for that one to be explained. Who have we got here? Loads of people. Hello, Emma. Hello, Mrs. Slips, Mr. Slips, Mrs. Oh, I don't know. Bamo, Kate, Claire Johnson, Nandita. Loads of you. Hello. Say hello to Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Lots of lovely people coming up here. Thank you, guys. I'm glad to see you all, because I have to say I was a little bit worried you might be snowed in. But hey, you know, that's the beauty of the internet, isn't it? Whoops. There we go. Fuffle of the day. Sorry about that. I got a bit overexcited there and my phone slipped. So, hello, the Dudley Five. Nice to see you all. Good morning, everybody. Marmite Moomin's there again. How are you? I'm all right, thank you. Yeah. Guess what I've got with me today? You never guess. It's a cup of tea. Hi, Westerly. Hello, Faye. I'm all right, thank you. It's really, really cold here. I know. I'm called Immy. Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted again, aren't I already? It's really cold here. About -2, something like that. We've got a little bit of snow on the ground. Nothing actually. I mean, I'm lying if I say we've got a little bit of snow on the ground. There's like a dusting on top of the dustbin. So if you've got snow, enjoy it, you lucky things, because we haven't got it at the moment. We just got the cold. So that's cool. So anyway, we are going to be cracking on this morning. Got my little notebook here. Or should I say our notebook? We're not going to dwell too much on the fact that this is our last week of doing this, because it's been fun, hasn't it? I really have rather enjoyed myself, and I really hope you have as well. I'm not absolutely sure if I'm being brutally honest here. I would say have I progressed in terms of writing my novel? Not especially. I mean, I've done some of it, certainly. But I haven't actually sort of, week by week progressed, because loads of other stuff's come up and got in the way, and it's meant that I've had to do that instead. So it hasn't actually, in terms of, words on the page, I haven't actually progressed much more, but I certainly will be from next week. I've got a clear diary coming up next week, so it's going to be like that, sitting down and kind of getting on with it. But what is really lovely about talking to you guys, and I hope, some of this kind of makes its way to you down the internet, is that talking about writing and being around other people who are writing with you is really, it gives you a really nice energy. I know that might sound a bit hippie, but I don't mind that, because that's exactly what I mean. It's like, we feed off each other's creativity, and we feed off each other's positivity, and giving you ideas and you giving me ideas actually is really, really helpful, because, we don't spend a lot of time around other people at the moment, or if we do, it's the same people. So it's really, really nice to make that connection with you guys, and to just be, these sort of half an hour every other day or whatever, just to kind of reach out and say hello. And thank you, Joe. Book lover Joe, who's a school librarian, is telling me, yes, I am being a bit of an old hippie. But that's it. You see, I live near Glastonbury. What can you say? Oh, and there goes my phone again. Okay, so I was just going to kind of talk to you today a little bit about what I've been up to, which I sort of have done already, I guess. I've been talking to schools. I did a school visit yesterday, which was really nice. They were having a snow day, the school I spoke to yesterday, but so they were all at home, but we had our little session, and I got to meet all their pets, which was actually really nice as well. So it's kind of busy. I sent off a story to my publisher yesterday as well, about, how long was it? About 1,400 words. So it's only short. It's only about the length of a chapter in a book, but that is an extra chapter that's going on the end of the week at World's End, and it's from a different character's viewpoint. And so we'll see what they think of that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they quite like that. But you never know. So that's what I've been up to. And obviously praying for snow and walking my dogs. What have you guys been up to? Well, let's just have a little think back over all that we've covered in these sessions, because this is session number 9. You know, that's we've been going for a while now, haven't we? So we talked about inspirations in the first session. I've got it all written down here, look, because I thought I need to just sort of like just gather myself a little bit and have a little recap and think, you know, we've been on a little bit of a journey together, haven't we? So we talked in the first week about inspirations and about where you get ideas from, and writing habits and things like that. And you'll know that I always turn up here with my cup of tea. Got a big one this morning, look. I can have a slurp now. Always turn up with a cup of tea. And under my desk, as I speak, is a Jack Russell. So, and I'm here in this room again. So those are all my little writing habits. And I hope, you know, in this time, you've had a little bit of a chance to think about your writing habits as well, where you like writing, and, you know, the things that help you write, or the things that help you, that you can do if you're feeling a bit stuck. So I hope all those things were helpful to you. We talked about characters quite a lot, and about things like, you know, not just, oh, the internet's being very Somerset this morning. You know, but just things like, you know, what would your character's bedroom look like? Where would your character eat their, you know, what sort of food does your character eat? You know, all those kind of things. So characters' motivations we talked about as well. We talked about things they might carry around with them, things they might be scared of. We also talked about villains. That was quite recently. We talked about villains who are really important characters in your story in their own right. And we also talked about, you know, where your story might take place and where your character might go, and how that might prove to be an obstacle for them as well. And we talked about the natural environment. We talked about writing about nature, and about writing about, you know, extreme environments where you're, I'm looking out the window there, hopefully, extreme environments where your characters might be. So all those, and objects as well that your character might carry with them. So we've covered quite a lot, I think. And I hope that, you know, even if you guys, haven't settled down to writing one great big long story, it really doesn't matter, you know. I mean, that was what I was hoping to kind of achieve at the start of all this, and I haven't done it. And I'm not kind of, you know, I've written some stuff, and I've been writing other stuff, and I've been creating other stuff. And that's what happens, you know. Your kind of brain takes you off in all sorts of directions. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about endings of stories. Now, I have to say, the endings of stories are my absolute favourite bit to write. I love writing the endings to stories. You know, a lot of people don't. A lot of people, you know, kind of struggle with that. I struggle with openings of stories. I take ages to write an opening chapter, as my current experience is reminding me. But I do love writing the ending to a story. And I always read the endings of stories with that kind of slightly writerly brain on, thinking, yeah, that's all folding up now, isn't it? So here's what I would like you to do first of all this morning. So grab your pen. This is writing time. I hope I'm not still paused, because I'm rabbiting on here. Okay, so pen time. And I've got 3 questions for you to think about. I want you first of all to think about 3 ways that a story might end. Okay, so 3 common ways, if you like, that a story might end. So have a little think about that. You know, you quite often get things where I'll give you a clue. The first clue, you know, just to get you cracking. A cliffhanger ending, where that's a good one. Thank you. A villain gets defeated. Somebody says, "Oh, we're being Somerset this morning, aren't we? Come on, Somerset, get peddling." So we've got a villain gets defeated. I'm just waving to somebody who's joined us. BMH7. Hello. Okay, a happy ending. Yeah, that is another way that a story might end, where everything gets resolved and everybody kind of, you know, getting what they wanted. So that's another type of story. Woof. Yeah. The villain gets stopped. That is another way of resolving things. Everybody is happy at the end. Yeah. We've got happily ever after. Paused. Oh no, that's me. A twist in the ending. Yes, I like that. Where actually you think that something is going to happen and the opposite happens. A mystery is solved. Good. A sad ending. The villain wins. The villain rules the world. Oh, I say. Goodness me. A mysterious ending. Okay. A cliffhanger ending and a bad ending. The good guy wins. The villain wins. Okay. Brilliant. Right. We've got this. Well done, guys. You are on fire this morning. This is exactly what I want to see. Okay. So the next thing I want to think about then is what's your favourite kind of ending? So if you are reading an ending, a book, what type of ending do you like? Okay, so think about that now and give me your answers, please, when you're ready. So what is your favourite type of ending? Oh, that's a nice idea. The main character who looks good actually is good. So they prove themselves. So Karen likes a cliffhanger. A good ending. Okay, can you... yeah, what for you is a good ending, though? Amelie, what would you say makes a good ending? I like cliffhanger, says somebody, where the good people win. Somebody else likes a twist or an unexpected ending. A good ending. Okay, come on, Silverhill, give me more than that. That's the teacher in me, you see, it's so bossy. What do you mean by a good ending? A happy ending that makes you cry. A massive battle. The good and bad people become friends. Yeah, I like those endings as well, actually. Or people who may not marry get married. Oh, you old softy. That's nice. Okay. A hero wins, but with a twist. Right. Okay. So you're on it. Well done. Good. You've absolutely grasped it. So my final question to you then is, can you tell me a book that you've read that you think has a good ending? Okay. So think of a book that has a good ending. And I'm just going to go and grab a book a minute off my shelf, and I'm going to leave you on my desk because otherwise, you know what will happen. We'll all just kind of go like that. So stay there. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, Bert. Oh, poor Bertie. I nearly trod on him then. He wondered what was going on. That was nearly his ending. Right, okay. Peppa Pig. Oh, Letters from the Lighthouse. Oh, you old charmers. Thank you very much. BFG, Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit. School of Good and Evil. Ever After High. The Pinhole Egg. Okay, The Girl of Ink and Stars. Six of Sun King. Thank you, Miss. Mrs. Lips or Miss... Please say hi to Year 6 from Hook Lane Primary School. Hook Lane Primary School, you are legends. Thank you for following all of our workshops. That is so brilliant. Thank you guys so much. Yes, Hunger Games. Oh, I love the Hunger Games. Oh, Strange Star. That's nice. Thank you. All of David Walliams. Okay, Harry Potter, My Life as a Cat. Death Set Sail. Yes, yes. That has got a very good ending, Death Set Sail. You're absolutely right. And of course, that's the ending of a whole series. So that had to be really boom, didn't it? Really had to do the business. Okay, so lots of great ideas here. So thank you for that. And that's really, really helpful. This is where, you see, I'm just going to get rid of that notification. This is where reading really, really helps your writing. Or this is a good example of where reading helps your writing, because if you're thinking about how to do something and you can think of an example that you really, really like, that is what you're trying, that is something you can try to do. So it's about kind of learning the techniques that writers use as you go. So you know, the fact that you know what are different, you know, all these different types of endings, and you know books that have satisfied you when you've read the endings, really gives you something to work with when you're trying to write your own story. So brilliant stuff. Okay, so what I've got written down here is my tips. I think this is probably a pep talk for me, actually, as much as you. Right, oopsie. get a phone bloomin' stand. I think that's going to be the first tip. Okay, right. So when I'm writing an ending, then what I tend to do is, and I'd love to hear another writer talking about this actually. So chip in if you'd like to. If I'm writing a book that's about 50,000 words long, most of mine are a little bit longer than that. But if I'm writing a book that's about 50,000 words long, I will start the decline, if you like, coming down over the top of the hill, that folding up the story at about 40,000 words. So if you think that's about 4/5 of the way through the story starts to close down. Okay, so it's not something that happens just in one chapter like that. And you'll know this when you're reading a book, that, if it all happens in one chapter or even just one or two chapters, you're thinking, oh, that's a bit quick. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm still, so it needs to happen at a pace that kind of feels right for you as the reader. So if you think about the structure of a book, the first sort of third is about the petals of the flower opening. The middle third is about the flower being open. And the final third is about those petals starting to close down again. So each petal is a story. Each petal is a thread of the story. And each petal is, a character's story in that. So start at that 4/5 thread, at that kind of, bit before the end, when your story starting to come over the hill and going down towards the finish. Start thinking about whose stories you can resolve first, because the minor characters will all have their own little storylines. They'll all have little things they want. They'll all have little things that they're trying to achieve. They'll all have, even if it's just, oh, thank goodness, my main character's grandma's got a kind of, her lottery ticket or something. They'll all have something they want to achieve, but those will happen first before the big denouement for your main character. Then when you get to that point, when your main character is thinking, oh, this is it, I've done it. I want you to think about, or I would think about, do you want your character to get absolutely everything? Okay. So do you want your character to have every single thing they've wanted right from the beginning of the story? Or do they actually want a bit more or something different? Or have they realised that the thing they wanted at the start of the story isn't actually that valuable, and actually there's something they've learned along the way that's more valuable? So have a little think about that. I like it, I have to say, when my characters learn something a little bit more realistic. So they might start out with something, massive that they're trying to achieve. And what they actually achieve is proving to them something to themselves. And they gain a friend, or they gain kind of confidence, or they gain knowledge of some description. And then the final scene, the absolute final chapter, is almost like a little bit of an epilogue. It's sort of like the new normal. It's where your characters are back in their world again. They've, taken off their adventure, gear, and they're back in school or whatever. It's the new normal. They're back in the real world again. And that's really nice as well, because I love writing those chapters, because it's where we can see how much your characters have changed and also how much they haven't changed. And what you might do as well is echo the opening chapter, things that are going on in the opening chapter in that final chapter. And I'll give you an example here of what I mean. So this is one of my absolute all-time favourite books. I'm sorry, I'm rabbiting, aren't I? It's 10:20 already. Journey to the River Sea by Eva Ibbotson. If you haven't read it, please do, because it's a beauty. And at the very start of the book, there's a girl gets some news. She's at school and she gets some news that her family have some distant relatives have been found, and she's going to go and live with them. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing because it takes a while to get there. But what it says on page 2, 3 even, it says, "We have found your relatives," Miss Banks went on. "And will they?" Maya began, but she could not finish. Mr. Murray now took over. "They are willing to give you a home." Maya took a deep breath. A home. She'd spent her holidays for the past 2 years in the school. Everyone was friendly and kind, but a home. So there, straight away, you know what the main character wants. She wants to have this lovely feeling of being at home. And the final page of the book takes us, final pages of the book, after this massive adventure that they go on, takes us back to that school again, and back to Maya waiting outside of the teacher's office to be told something. And Maya had been sitting absolutely still on the chair in the hall waiting. Now she heard a loud peal on the street bell and turned to see a dark, wild-haired boy running up the steps. Taking no notice of the flustered maid, he came up to Maya. "I'm going home, Maya," shouted Finn. "I'm going home." Upstairs, a door had opened and Miss Minton came slowly down the stairs, dabbing her eyes. Then she drew herself up to her full height. "We are all going home," she said. So it's just lovely. Oops. Oh, it's lovely, just that sense of closure, that sense of the whole story coming together. And that's what a beautiful book like this does. Okay, can we do some writing, please? Yes, we can do some writing. Don't you worry. Okay, right. So we are going to get cracking again. Pen. Haven't seen it for a while, have you? Thought I'd forgotten. Right, 3 minutes we are going to write for. And here is what you're going to do. You're going to think of your main character. Now, it might be the main character you've been writing about all the way along. It might be a main character that you just come up with now that you want to write about. It might be somebody that you're working on at the moment. It's entirely up to you. But we're going to write for 3 minutes, and you're going to have your character, a person, saying goodbye to something. Okay, so you're writing a really quick scene. I mean, literally just for 3 minutes. You'll be amazed at how much you get done. 3 minutes, your character saying goodbye to someone or something. So this is where you're going to really pull at your character's emotions a little bit. Okay, so right, here we go. We're on 3 minutes. Go. And I'm going to be writing as well. And yes, you will get the noise at the end. Right, 1 minute left. coming up now. Brace your ears. Ooh. There it is, the beauty. Oh, of that noise. I am so sorry if this phone keeps slipping down today. Well done, guys. So 3 minutes. I don't know how much you wrote. There's mine. Look, my page, and I got a bit. My pen was running out actually, and I got a bit scribbly as well, and went over the page. So I hope we had some nice emotional scenes of characters saying hello. Oh my goodness me, that's quite a dramatic one. Here, look at that. Goodbye, said Mum. Please don't leave me. The last word she had spoken was goodbye. Oh, goodness me, how sad. And I like the way you're counting your words, guys, as well. That's good, because that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, how much you can write when you're doing a writing sprint, which is what you've just done. So that's absolutely brilliant. Well done. And nice healthy amounts as well, I have to say. She's saying goodbye to a horse. I know saying goodbye to animals in stories is, oh dear, it's just one of those things that's guaranteed to get you, isn't it? Don't worry if you haven't finished. That's absolutely fine. This is just thinking stuff to get you going. The other thing because we're running out of time. The other thing I wanted to get you to do, which kind of fits with this, what we've been talking about endings, about how endings start with a kind of, books end with a fresh beginning, is that I'd like you to write for another 3 minutes. We're not going to do this obviously together now. So you are going to be spared the joy of this. Another 3 minutes with your character arriving somewhere new, or your character greeting a situation that is completely new, because that's how, if you're writing a story where the ending is optimistic, not necessarily like, it's all kind of brilliant, but if you're writing an optimistic ending, there needs to be this sense of life moving on, life going forward. So they've said their goodbyes, they've done the sad bit, and now they're going to deal with it. Now they're going to get on with the rest of their life, and life is going to continue. So if you time yourself for another 3 minutes where your character goes from that really sad situation into something more positive, so they get some good news, or they go somewhere new and it's better. Okay? And yeah, absolutely. Thank you, the Dudley Five. And speaking of goodbyes, it is now nearly 10:30. So what we are going to do on Thursday is I would like you to speak to me, okay? Because what we do quite a lot on these sessions is lots of kind of chatting. And so what I would love is on Thursday is if you can come in the morning with your questions. So we're just going to run it as a questions and answers session. So if there's anything you'd like to ask me about writing, about books, if you'd like me to read you a little bit of something, if you'd like to ask me for some tips, all that kind of stuff, half an hour, I'm yours for you to pick my brains. And obviously, there's going to be questions flying up on, I hope I'm not just me and my mum. Hopefully you'll come with your questions. And we can have a nice old chat. Okay. But thank you guys so much. I hope you've had a nice session this morning, and I have. It's always a pleasure. Cup of tea. I'm raising my cup of tea to you guys this morning because you got it this morning just straight away. You were brilliant. Thank you guys very, very much. I hope to see you for the last time on Thursday. Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.